Hey guys, it's TMR here. You can call me Walt. We are talking about the metagame for Black Ops 2. Now, for those of you who don't know, or those of you who think you do, metagaming is often abused on YouTube or on forums or just by the internet in general, not quite understanding the term, kind of believing that they actually made up the term, which I don't believe is true. But the idea with the metagame is talking about outside ideas and strategies and using outside information to really just affect your gameplay, typically in a positive way as far as the rules of the game are concerned. So we're going to go ahead and start talking about that. And our first topic for this mini-series is going to be forcing concessions on the enemy team. So let's talk really quickly about what I mean by that. T. Martin did a video on this. He was talking a little bit about The Art of War and how the idea for The Art of War as a book, right, your old Sun Tzu, is to force the enemy to fight on your terms. In other words, you control the engagement. Because it's not so much about winning a fight as it is overcoming obstacles, or, simply put, controlling what the enemy is doing. If you can control what the enemy team is going to do in a game, you will consistently win. You will consistently do well. You will be able to consistently come out with high KDRs, high score per minute games, all that jazz. So we want to talk about just some brief things on how to do that. And this isn't going to be so much on using a particular head glitch spot or how to win gunfights. Obviously, there's tons of videos on YouTube that can help you with that, show you some good spots to control, show you how to be more accurate, how to improve your technique as a player, and all that jazz. I'm not going to focus too much on that. I do want to stay focused on the strategy and the idea aspect of this for the sake of this series. So, talking about forcing these concessions. A quick couple notes that are fairly intuitive about the game. No one's gonna, I think, disagree with any of these. The first one is all players have to make decisions simultaneously. What this means is that you don't get to take a turn and then your enemy takes a turn and then you take a turn. This is not a chess game. This is not a board game. This is not a poker. Okay. You have to make the decisions at the same time that your teammates do, and at the same time that the enemy team does. So this is live action. In addition, players are limited in ability to not cooperate. Now that sounds kind of funky that I say that they're limited in their ability to not cooperate with their team. What do I mean by that? Well, the ability to grief in this game is severely limited. There's only so much you can do to grief in multiplayer matches. So, for instance, you can riot shield in front of someone in a game of search and destroy on be it core or hardcore. On hardcore only, you can kill your teammates, and you can use flashbang stuns, EMP grenades, and they will negatively affect your teammates, in addition to your score streaks. However, your options are still fairly limited in that they are only really there for the hardcore game modes, and odds are you don't want to do them. Most players do play the game to win as opposed to troll their teammates. So that's important just to note, because that means that conversely, your abilities to cooperate are very unlimited. You have a lot of ways you can possibly help your team. You have a lot of different strategies you can use to help your team compared to how many strategies and different ways you can use to not help your team. Also, players have the ability to communicate, which is absolutely essential in breaking some game theory ideas, such as the prisoner's dilemma, which we'll touch on in a future video. But not going to stay on there too long. Obviously, you can communicate with players about whatever you want, including the game, including things outside of the game. So that's just really good to remember and keep in the back of your head. Now, the last note to kind of sum up just some of our basic presuppositions about the game, we also have acknowledged that this is a zero-sum game. So for those of you who don't know much about game theory, you can probably guess what that is by the terminology zero-sum. What that means is that your game, if you have a positive KD, then your enemy probably has a negative KD, so on and so forth. Every time you capture a flag, the enemy loses a flag. If you win a round, the enemy loses a round. And these all affect the game. So, in other words, there is no way for everyone to come out with a positive kill-death ratio, etc. So, we have to keep that in mind. So, in order to beat out the idea that this is a zero-sum game, in order to beat out that if we kill the enemy will kill us, and we'll just kind of be zeroed out at a 1.0 KD. As opposed to that, if we communicate, we can obviously vastly increase our chance of improving our KD, improving our score per minute, and winning matches. So let's talk about why concessions are important. Philbert was talking in a comment on my last video. He made a very good point. It was a very good point, and I agree with it, and I disagree with it. I agree in the sense that he made it, and I don't think he disagrees with what I'm saying here. But he made the point that all decisions are punishable. In other words, when you are going through and you say you drop shot, your enemy could have anticipated that drop shot. Even if it was unlikely, they could have anticipated it and won that gunfight. Or, for instance, you checked a corner, you anticipated the enemy to be in because they are most likely to be in that corner based on your intuition involving the game, but it turns out the enemy was camping in a different corner and they got the shot off on you first and killed you. So while it is true that you could have a perfect game, the success of that is unlikely, and I think that's what Philbert was getting at, and that's what I believe. So we want to base our success on other things other than just lucking out on a perfect game. So the enemy team is focused on doing what? They want to lure us into controlling the game their way. We want to control the game our way. So Black Ops 2 success is absolutely based in controlling certain behaviors from the enemy, baiting these behaviors, and then punishing them. So we want to be thinking about constantly how we can play against the enemy team, how we can be playing them against each other, how we can be throwing off their communication, etc. And a great example of this is Search and Destroy. It's a game mode where you can absolutely control the enemy team, be you on attacking side or defending sides, because, say, if you're on the attacking side, you can plant the bomb. If you're on the defending side, you can control the bombs in certain ways to force a plant on a different side, or you can control the bomb if you killed the bomb carrier, etc. When you do that, you force the enemy team to react in certain ways. They only have so many options, and then you significantly can reduce the actions that can be taken against you by forcing them to do certain things. For instance, picking up a bomb or defusing the bomb. So we want to be keeping stuff like that in mind and really just using it for the sake of our success. So I just want you guys to be talking about that. Leave me some comments, drop some response videos if you want, like and subscribe. I'd definitely love to see how some other people take this series and take some of these just kind of basic points that I'm making right now. Hopefully we get a little more in-depth as I read more on what all this stuff means. And in the meantime, just a little update on the channel and on our website. We are starting our move over to dizegaming.com. That's dizegaming.com. I hope I spelled that right. And it's going to be a full gaming forum, so it doesn't really matter what console you play. We want to see you, and if you want to pump your clan or your clan website or whatever and get with us, form alliances, we are definitely more than happy to see you over there. Or if you just want to link up with us and play with us, we definitely like to see you guys over there. So go ahead and check that out. And in the meantime, just want to thank you guys. We're hitting over 500 video views recently. I forgot what the exact date was, but we've hit over 500 video views, which is a decent little milestone for us. And so just a quick shout out to our team. And also with this video too, it's some gameplay with myself and another clan member, Undead Yeti. Just a quick shout out to him as well. This guy's a beast player, plays a lot of hardcore, rocking a pretty solid KD, and just a beast with whatever weapon you put him behind. So anyways, thanks you guys for checking us out. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you all later. Out.